Hey, welcome to day 25 of 31 Days of Essential Oils. My name is Tammy. I'm your mentor and guide on this journey, which has been extraordinary so far. So thank you to those of you who've been with me, commented, shared, acknowledged. It means everything to me. And I can't tell you enough because it's just this is it. I'm just like totally stoked to be sharing this with you at this level. For those of you who are just tuning in, and even for those of you who have been here for a while, just want to make sure that you know that I'm blogging over on synergessence.com. There's 31 days of essential oil tab over there where I'm getting into further details on the oils that I'm not sharing here because this is just about how I've used the oils with clients as well as myself over the last 30 years, which comes from symptom relief to modification of use. I don't think I mentioned it in the last video. My specialty is plant constituents as they relate to human health and drug development. That is very important, and that's what you actually see a lot of in the blogs, but that's where a lot of the modification has come over the years as to when and how to use these oils. And it does take a little bit of bouncing around and kind of playing with some things and really getting to know, because it's overwhelming information. It's just, there's a lot of information out there. It's very overwhelming until we really kind of get a grip. And so what I'm trying to get a grip, so we really kind of get a sense of the oils that we're working with and a sense of where our system is at. And so that's the reason why I'm getting so detailed in the blogs, because the more you understand, the better equipped you are to make more effective decisions with the oils. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions about this or anything else. Just know that I'm also getting ready to launch other series because I'm having such a fun time doing this. I just want to keep going. The next one that I think I'm going to be working on is blending, and after that, I don't know. Let me let you also mention that I have a closed Facebook group that I'm more than happy to add you to. It started out kind of like as a class course. There's a lot of content that hasn't been discussed here, but you're welcome to come over there. It doesn't cost you anything to join. And again, a lot of information. Love to have class discussions because there's content in there that I think you would benefit from if you would like to. So just email me, tammy@synergessence.com, and let me know that you want to be a part of that group, and then I will send you the link to request to join. Okay, so on that note, today I want to talk about Helichrysum. I think this is probably by far my favorite oil. I know I like them all to some degree, more than others, some more than others. But in this case, I totally dig Helichrysum, and the way I've used it has been extraordinary. One of the things I'm really present to right now that I want to say that you can go out there and look a lot of places, and it says that it's very good for tinnitus. When I tried using it based on that suggestion with people who had tinnitus, got no results. Okay, now tinnitus is technically nerve pain, and Helichrysum does have analgesic effects, but it's not necessarily nerve pain. And not is it just nerve pain, it's also, it has a lot to do with neurotransmitters. So, and there's inflammation. So really kind of getting at what's going on with your system. And really, I would say focusing on the digestive system, okay? But Helichrysum as a whole, in my experience, that's 30 years, I have never seen it touch tinnitus. So that tells me, number one, tinnitus is got different roots or different causes, and you really need to get to what's going on with the individual system before you start picking and choosing your oils. So on that note, Helichrysum. How have I used it? Well, blood pressure for one. It's really, really good for blood pressure. It supports arterial health. It also helps to stabilize the immune system. It helps to reduce, mast cell, excessive mast cell development. So it kind of relieves that. So it's very good for scar tissue. If you happen to have, I've talked about this in other videos, ulcerations or cuts abrasions where you're seeing a lot of some people call it proud flesh, but excessive tissue growth, you can actually use Helichrysum pardon me, for that, because it helps to, it does have ketones in it, so you want to make sure that you use it with caution, but it does actually help to break down the granulated tissue and support the immune system and the hormonal system with replacing it with a healthier tissue. Um, so healthy tissue development. So it's really beneficial for that. So it's very good for scars. Oh, sorry, you guys. I got an itchy nose today, and like I said, so it's really good for this for the immune system as well as circulation. I'm trying to think. I have also just drawn a blank. I've used it with women who've had abnormal pap smears, and we've used it, placed it on a tampon, and inserted it, and did that consecutively for 7 days to have a pap smear come back normal. So yeah, it's got some really great. It's also very good for helping to. It's super anti-inflammatory. Because, like I said, it's mucolytic. So occasionally, if there's a sinus issue, you could potentially use it for that. It helps to moisturize skin. It's actually very good for skincare. I've had people who've had, believe it or not, the inside of their nose dries out and it gets really painful on the inside. And so if you take a little bit of cotton, like a cotton swab, and put a little bit of Helichrysum up inside the nose, it actually helps to heal it and keep it moist. And so it's really very super for that. Yeah, so I really enjoy it for skincare. Facial skin is wonderful. Scars and blood pressure, as like I said, and arterial health, as well as an immune stabilizer. Now, that said, Helichrysum does have a mild influence on serotonin, so you want to be careful with it. And it does have, you would want to double check the constituents in the oil that you have, but the beta carophylline or carophylline oxides for sure. So caution with the psychotropics with the Helichrysum. And can use it in the mouth, oral health, mouth sores, pimples, but definitely in the mouth too. If you have it, well, I would say you could make a mouthwash out of it and swish it around. But truthfully, if you just took a little bit and even to the end of your finger and applied it directly, if there was a mouth sore, you could just place it in there and it helps with that too. So that, I'm trying to think what else. Joint pain. Because it does, like I said, it does have some analgesic effects to it, especially, I'm going to say arthritis. So if you have joint pain or definitely have a diagnosis of arthritis, it does help break down scar tissue. Okay, that's the one thing I want to really emphasize here, is it really does help to break down scar tissue. And the one thing I will say that you do not want to use it on is perineural cysts. Perineural cysts, if you're not familiar with it, then you wouldn't want to worry about it. But if somebody has cysts in their spine or their neck, you want to make sure that it's not a perineural cyst. On a ganglion cyst, it's one thing, again, because it helps to break down the granulated tissue, and it influences the regeneration of healthy skin or healthy tissue. But so in joint pain, or if you have excess of cartilage or you've got scar tissue in the joints, it helps with that. But again, perineural cysts are actually an inflammation at the nerve root on the spine, and it has cerebral spinal fluid in it. They're not common, but they do exist. Typically, they're more common in the sacrum than they are in the cervical spine. I happen to have them in both, and but I don't recommend Helichrysum for that, simply because it does. It's a mucolytic, and it encourages the breakdown of unnecessary tissue and the regeneration of healthy tissue. And I don't want to take the chance. I honestly don't. This is where I draw the line with oils, because they are that powerful. So with the perineural cysts, if it does flare up and give me pain, there are other oils that I can use, but I totally stay away from Helichrysum for that, because I don't want to. Like I said, it's cerebral spinal fluid in the end of the nerve root. It's ballooned out. I don't need that popping. I need my spinal fluid to stay where it's supposed to be. Um, that said, before I close out, I've used it with shingles. Okay. Again, because it does actually help with the pain of shingles. It really does help with the pain of shingles, as well as herpes, both oral herpes as well as genital herpes. I know there's a medication out there right now that if you take it, it's like you can get rid of these flare-ups within a couple of days. I know for a fact that if you take Helichrysum, and all you need to do is the Helichrysum in this case, and apply it directly to the lesion, they stop hurting and are typically gone within a day. Now, that's been the experience I've seen. I'm hoping that you'd actually have the same experience, or the person that you know would have a similar experience. So Helichrysum is just as effective against the herpes zoster virus and clearing up those lesions like that. So again, and then like I said, and shingles, believe it or not, is actually part of the same virus. That's the reason why it all kind of came to mind just now. So on that, I'm going to leave you with that information. Let me know if you have any questions about that. I look forward to writing this blog because, as I mentioned, it is one of my favorite oils. And hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. And again, thank you very much for being here with me.